monumental decision that's ahead of our nation is that if we make the wrong decisions right now, it's not only going to affect our generation, but it's going to affect many future generations. And Congressman Whitfield has certainly been a friend to Madisonville, a friend to Western Kentucky coal, and a friend to economic development in our region. And I appreciate his help on a number of issues that since I've been mayor, that he has been right there for me, and I really do appreciate that. And I know he's been there for you guys too.
Right now, as you all know, whenever the government, whether it's local government, state government, or federal government, when they need real estate or property for a public purpose, they'll use their eminent domain authority, and they'll go in and condemn property, and they'll pay the property owner whatever price that they determine is a fair and equitable price, and they take the property. Well, in California, what they're beginning to talk about doing out there, and it looks like they're going to start doing it, they're going to use eminent domain authority to condemn and take over private mortgages. So if the Hancock Bank loans money to Mike Pate, and you all hold that mortgage, the government in California is now going to come in and take those mortgages away from that bank, pay them way below the value of that mortgage, rework those loans, and I mean, I have never heard, ever, of the government trying to use eminent domain authority to take over privately held mortgages. And I think philosophically, that's exactly the way Barack Obama feels about a lot of things. And I'm always really upset because he's always talking about he wants to protect the middle class and so forth. And yet, you know, when he took over office, Rahm Emanuel made the comment publicly that we should never let a crisis go to waste. And of course, the crisis that he was talking about was the economic crisis that we found ourselves in when Barack Obama became the president. And so what they decided to do was they decided that instead of having a realistic policy to promote economic growth, that they were going to have a political agenda. And the political agenda was, there were two parts to it initially. And they've gone a long way accomplishing both of them, as a matter of fact. The first thing they wanted to do was to federalize health care, which they basically had done through Obamacare, even though it does not fully go into effect until 2014. But as you know, they took $500 billion out of Medicare. They're putting 20 million more people on Medicaid. The physicians have already told us that they're not going to take any more Medicaid patients because the reimbursement rates are so low that they're just not going to see them. And so one of the explained reasons for passing Obamacare was they wanted to make sure that everyone had adequate health care access, and they wanted to get people out of the emergency room to the doctor's office. So when you put 20 million more people on Medicaid and there's no more money available for Medicaid, and the doctors are not going to see them, those people are going to right back to the emergency room. So the whole articulated reason for passing Obamacare is not going to work because the doctors have already said there are not enough doctors, primary care physicians, to see these patients. And on top of that, as you remember, they're establishing a national board appointed by the president, 15 people, that will be making basically all the health care decisions in America. Now, of course, President Obama says, well, the way we're going to pay for this, we're going to eliminate fraud from Medicare. But they have not been able to identify anywhere near the amount of money they need. When that health care bill went to the House floor, as you know, it will affect every aspect of health care delivery. They want to push America into green energy. Now, all of us recognize that we support green energy. Officially, if you look at our platform for the Republican Party, we've adopted all the above policy. But all of us understand that wind power and solar power and renewables, whether we're talking about transportation or electricity, there is no way there's going to be enough windmills or solar panels to meet the base electricity needs of America. And since 50% of our electricity is produced from coal still, we have to continue to utilize coal. They had their political agenda, which he said the other day, they said, well, how would you view your presidency? And he said, well, I view it as incomplete. But the truth of the matter is, you can really view it as completed. Because the first two things they wanted to do, they wanted to get rid of coal, and they wanted to federalize healthcare. And they basically have done both. People are genuinely concerned that Republicans are going to end Medicare. The Republicans have no desire to end Medicare. It's just like Paul Ryan said. If we don't do something 20 years down the road, there's not going to be enough money to pay the Social Security beneficiaries, the Medicare beneficiaries, and the Medicaid beneficiaries. So we've got to address the problem. The Democrats are not even willing to talk about it. But all they want to do is scare the American people to believe that we're going to end Social Security, end Medicare, and stop Medicaid. All we're trying to do is to shore it up so that it can last for a long
We're here to open the Republican headquarters. And first of all, you know, I mean, I don't know, this is just such a super facility. And Hancock Bank is allowing us to use this. And so if you happen to drop by there or thinking about opening a checking account or something like that, go by and support them, because it's really nice for them to support us. And also, you know, Leanne and Tiffany and Tara have literally worked their tails off on this this headquarters, getting it all ready for today and to have it ready for this campaign season. And I think we need to let them know we